The country's big four power companies are teaming up to stockpile coal at the Huntly Power Station in a bid to keep the country's lights on in a dry winter or when renewable energy is under threat. So much for coal being phased out. It's now coming to our rescue. Mike Roan is the Meridian Energy Chief Executive joining us now. Mike, good morning.
Hey, morning, Ryan. How are you?
Yeah, very well, thank you. Thanks for being on the program. Is this an essential? The deal that you guys are cobbling together, is this an essential thing and getting the coal an essential, or is it a nice to have?
No, it's essential, Ryan. Last year, the New Zealand energy system, and I use the word energy more widely than electricity, suffered a pretty reasonable setback with unexpected loss of gas to support both people who use that gas directly to run their businesses and also as a fuel for the electricity system. And gas was the thermal fuel that we were using to provide a transition to a renewable electricity future. And of course, when gas failed, we needed another backup fuel to support the electricity system. And, there've been a lot of people who have been talking about what that solution could look like. We've been working really hard to try and ensure that a solution is there. And that's what, this represents. This is part of a wider solution to both restore security of supply to the electricity sector and to help manage price affordability. So, it is an essential part of the solution to the challenge that we faced last year.
Mike, a lot of naysayers, of course, out there, you can imagine. Can you just tell us straight up, if we didn't have this coal, what would the price be? And would we have blackouts? Would there be the potential for blackouts?
I don't know if I could forecast kind of what the price would be, Ryan, without this, but because this transaction really is about energy security. We do have a bounty of renewable energy in this country, and so our energy system has been very secure in past. But when you do lose a big fuel source like gas, you do need to replace that. And we've worked hard for 2025 to cobble together a couple of small transactions to see our way through 2025, and that was. We asked the aluminium smelter to reduce its consumption this winter, and we secured additional gas, short-term gas from Methanex. But what this transaction is about, so that we could get through winter 2025 and ensure electricity security. And what this transaction is as we look to winter 2026, this gives us long-run confidence that that fuel will be available to us. No one should be worrying about having a cold shower or the lights going out after we've completed this deal. And it sits alongside another transaction that we've written with the New Zealand aluminium smelter. So this is part of the solution to manage energy or electricity security.
Make sure we don't run out of power and the lights go out in the winter.
Exactly.
How much of this, I wonder, Mike, how much of this is your own fault? Newsroom has reported that since partial privatisation in 2013, investment in renewable energy by the big gentailers, $1.7 billion in 2011 to below $300 million a year between 2016 and 2020. For every dollar of new capital investment over the decade, $2.41 was paid in dividends. Is this a problem of your own making?
Oh, absolutely not, Ryan. I don't think anyone saw the loss of gas, as a fuel for the electricity sector as playing out the way it did. And, the investment, there has been $12 billion of investment in the electricity sector or in new sources of electricity over the last 15 years. And that's in the face of no growth in consumption. So we have been reinvesting in renewable assets. And in fact, New Zealand is the envy of the world in the way that we do use renewable energy. And we've kind of over that period lifted the amount of renewable energy in the system from about 80% to just below 90%. So, the electricity system is becoming more renewable, but having unexpectedly lost that gas, what I can assure people is that the amount of investment that's going into the electricity sector to overcome that challenge is massive. And, that's what this transaction represents. It's people getting on and, actually resolving the challenge that represented.
Mike, appreciate your time this morning. Thanks for answering those questions. Mike Roan, Meridian Energy Chief Executive. And you got to say that if the lights went out, if your shower went cold, if your oven stopped working, you would be absolutely outraged. And imagine the scorn we would put on these CEOs, these chief executives from the gentailers, if the lights went out, as opposed to they bought a bit of coal and guess what, the rest of the world burns it too.